Hi, in the previous video I have explained about what are nested ifs, and we have seen an example wherein I take three numbers from the user and find out the smallest and the middle number and the biggest number out of three numbers. Now in this video I am going to explain about looping statements. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel Ishwari Classes and don't forget to like it and share it. Now let us begin with what are looping statements. Now what do you mean by a loop? A loop is nothing but when set of statements are getting executed repeatedly till the condition gets satisfied, that is called as a loop. Now the loop can be written in two forms. One is for loop and another one is while loop. Now what do you mean by a for loop? A for loop is also called as counting loop. That means set of statements or sequence of statements get executed for fixed number of times. When we are sure that the statements are to be executed for fixed number of times, then we prefer for loop. That's why it is called as counting loop. And the next one is while loop. What is a while loop? While loop is also called as conditional loop. We prefer while loop when we are not sure that the loop will be executed for fixed number of times. When we are not sure how many times the loop has to be run, at that time we prefer while loop. That's why it is called as a conditional loop, or you can also call it as entry control loop. And for loop can be called as exit controlled loop. Entry control loop, why? Because it will go inside the loop or it will continue the loop depending upon the condition. When we are not sure that how many times the loop has to be run, then we prefer while loop. Now we will see in deep what is for loop. Now this is general form of for loop. I have written here for variable, in, and sequence of statements. Now what is this is for loop is preferred when you want to execute sequence of statements for preferred number of times. Okay, now here for loop will get executed for each element in the sequence. Now what do you mean by a sequence? This sequence can be either a string, it can be either a string or it can be either list. So the for loop will get executed for each element in the list or for each element in the string. That's why it is called as counting loop. That is, it is fixed. For each element, the loop will run. For example, I have got a list here. I have defined a list here, and which is having elements 15, 20, 25 and 30. Now I am running the for loop for this list. So what will happen is this for loop will run for every element in the list. The first element is 15, the second element is 20, third is 25 and fourth is 30. So what will happen? For I in list. So what will be the first value of I? That is, I will be 15. For 15, that is for I in list, print I plus 2. That is, the 15 will get added by 2 and it will print. So what will be the answer here? I plus 2 means 15 plus 2. The output would be, I am writing here output first, the output would be 17. Then the loop will continue for second element in the list, that is 20. So I value will now be 20. I value would be now 20. Just erasing it. And I value will become 20. Now 20 plus 2, I plus 2, that is 20 plus 2, it will become 22. Next time, the loop for third time, I value will become 25. So I value will become 25 and then what will happen here? It will print 27. Then finally I value will become 30. And I plus 2, it will display 32. So the loop will run for each element in the list in the case of for loop. Similarly, we can do with string also. So in the case of string, for every character in the string, the loop will run. The loop will process every character in the string. That example we will see now. Now here is an example for writing for loop which is having a string. That is, it will process for every character in the string. Now I am writing here a variable s is equal to Python, and I want to display like first p, then in the next line y, in the third line t, like this. Now line in every line I want to display a character. I want to display the characters line by line. Now how will you write it? Using the for loop. Now for I in s, that is first value of I would be p, character p. So and it will display I. The output would be p. And next time I value would be y. Next time I value would be y. And it will display y. And third time I value would be t. Sorry. It would be t. And it will display t. Similarly, the fourth time I value would be h. And then o, then n. So the answer finally would be like this. So I value will be each and every character. Every time when the loop runs, the I value changes to the characters, every character in the string. So this is how we use for loop for processing every character in the string list. Okay, there is string sequence. So this is about looping statements. Now let us see one more function that we can use in for loop, that is range. We are going to learn about range function. Suppose if I want to run the loop on number based list, then we prefer range. This function range will return you a list of numbers. This is going to return you list of numbers. Okay, now if I write, suppose if I write range 10, what will happen is this function will return you 0 to 9. It will stop at 9. It won't run up to 10. It is going to return you list. This will return you list 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This function will return you list of numbers from 0 to 9. Suppose if I want to run the loop from 5 to 10, I write the starting number 5, and if I write here 10, then what will happen? This will return you list of numbers. It will return you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will return you a list from starting from 5, and it will stop at 10 minus 1, one number less. So it will stop at 9. So this is about range. Range will give you a list of numbers. This we are going to apply in for loop. We are going to run the loop for each character, for each number in the range. Okay, suppose I want to write a program to do sum of first 10 natural numbers, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 7 up to 10. I want to run the loop including 10. So I have to start from 1 to 11. Yes, I have to write from 1 to 11 because it is natural numbers. Whole numbers start from 0. Automatically if you write here 11, it will start from 0. But I want to start from 1, so I will specify 1 to 11. Okay, let us see how to write that program. How to add first n natural numbers. Now I have written a program to perform sum of first 10 natural numbers. So I have just defined a variable sum is equal to 0, and I am running the loop for I in range. I am starting from number 1 to 11. That means it will stop at 10. 11 minus 1, it won't include the last number excluding 11. It will stop at 10. And sum is equal to sum plus I. So what will be the initial value of I? I will start from 1 and sum will be 0. So 0 plus 1, it will be 1. Sum will be 1. And next time I value will become 2 and sum will become 1 plus 2, it will be 3. Already it is 1. Now this 2 will get added, it will be 1 plus 2, so it will be 3 now. Next time I value will be 3 and sum will be 1 plus 2 plus 3. This 3 will get added. Like this, the loop will run till I value is 10. It won't go up to 11, it will stop at 10 till I value is 10. So this is how we write a program for adding first 10 natural numbers using the for loop. Now let us see a program to display odd numbers from 1 to 50. How will you display odd numbers from 1 to 50? We have got one more parameter in range function, that is step, wherein you can say wherein you can specify how many numbers it has to go forward. For example, if I write here range, suppose if I write range 1, 50, 2, what will happen? Loop will start from 1 and it will go up to 49, and what will happen? Every time it will increment the value of the control variable by 2. First value will be 1, second value will be 1 plus 2, 3, and third value will be 5, fourth value will be 7. Like that, every time it will increment the value by 2. So this is step argument which we are using in range. Now let us write a program to display odd numbers between 1 to 50. And let us use range and step. We are using one more argument, step in range. So I just write here odd numbers. I am going to display odd numbers. So I just write for I in range 1 to 50, and instead of writing plus 2, I just specify here 2. What will happen? Automatically I value will increment by 2, and I just write print I. It is simple. So it is going to display first value of I 1, second value it will increment by 2, and second value will be I value is going to be 3, and then the output is going to be like this 1, 3, 5, 7, and it will go up to 49. up to 49. So this is how we use step argument in range. Now here is an assignment to you. You're going to take a number from the user and you're going to display its table. Suppose if user enters number 3, you are going to display its table like 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, like that you're going to display. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, like this you're going to display up to 3 tens are 30. So you're going to take number from the user and you're going to run the loop from 1 to 10 using range and display its product, that is the table product, like this. This will be an assignment to you, which we will see in the next class. The solution for this will be given in the next class. So stay tuned. You can subscribe to my channel to see the solution for this in the next video. Now we will see how while loop runs. Now we will see with the while loop. What are a while loop? As I have already explained in the beginning, while loop is a entry control loop and for loop is a exit control loop. Now entry control loop means while loop is an entry control loop. That means when you are not sure how many times the loop has to be run, then we prefer while loop. We have seen that in the for loop, the number of times the loop has to be run is known beforehand. But here when we are not sure how many times it has to be run, then we prefer here. For example, let us write a program wherein you just ask from the user the number and you keep on adding. That is, you keep on asking the user whether do you want to continue entering the numbers. If he says yes, then you take number from the user and you add it to the sum, and again you ask the user, do you want to continue unless he says no. If he says no, then you stop the loop and you come out of the loop. So when you're not sure how many times to run the loop, when you are taking the input from the user and running the loop, then we prefer while loop. It is called as entry control loop. So we are going to write a program to take numbers from the user and perform addition. Okay. So I just define a variable sum is equal to 0 and another variable answer is equal to y. Okay, and I am going to run the loop while answer is equal to yes till the answer is equal to s. When user enters answer value as no, then we are going to come out of the loop. Now you take from the user print. Sorry, you use input, enter any number, and that you store in n, and then sum is equal to sum plus n. So you are taking a number from the user and you are adding it to the sum. Now you ask the user whether he wants to continue entering the numbers. Now you ask the user input, do you want to continue, and that you store in answer. No need to use integer because already you are going to store, it is going to return string value and which you are storing in answer. Now user will enter either yes or no. If you want, you can specify here. You can ask the user to enter what answer you are expecting, whether yes or no. If user enters yes, again the loop will go, the control will go here, and yes, answer is equal to yes. Again it will take a number from the user and it will store in n, and then it will get added to sum. Again it will ask, the loop will run unless the user enters no or any other variable also, or any other value also except y. If he enters y, the loop will continue. So finally, after the loop ends, you can print sum is, and you can display the sum. So this is entry control loop, and this is how it will run. You will let us see the output. Okay, first it will ask enter any number. Suppose user enters 1. It will ask you, do you want to continue? Do you want to continue? And if you say yes, again it will ask enter any number, and that it will add to sum. If you say no, it will come out of the loop and it will display the sum. So this is how the while loop runs, and it is preferred when you're not sure about how many times the loop has to run. So if you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel Ishwari Classes, and don't forget to share it and like it. Thank you.